pressing for the faster and the newer, people can come to deeply appreciate those times when they can slow down and take stock of their lives. When they do, they hope they'll find that nothing important has been left behind. It's true, of course, that you can't live in the past, but what you can do is try to preserve those values and patterns of the past that have enduring worth, so that they'll continue to live on in the present. Our community stands among those who still treasure the enduring values of quality and craftsmanship, care and service, integrity and character, and close ties in family and friendship. We want to help preserve these values and encourage others who seek to hold to and strengthen the heritage passed down to the present from the past. In our effort to preserve traditional values, even in an impersonal, mass-production culture, the members of our community have dedicated themselves to craft, the art of work, and have sought to apply to all areas of life the attitudes inherent in craft. These include care, consideration, perseverance, and a striving for quality over quantity. We seek to craft material objects that express those values, such as carefully constructed homes and other buildings, fine handmade furniture, woven fabrics, metal products, pottery, and many other items, including soap, candles, and prepared food. An outstanding potter once wrote that to build with love is the way of the craftsman. The task of the craftsman is to make well what needs making, for the love of God and for the service of our fellow men and women. But even more important to us than crafting chairs and bowls is to apply those values and attitudes inherent in craft to the art of human relations, crafting families, a whole community, not to live in the past, but to express those enduring values in the present and carry them on into the future. We have a rich heritage in America that goes back to our founding and beyond. Just as there are gardeners who make a practice of growing food in such a way as to preserve the original heirloom seed varieties, in order to protect the ancient lines from which all modern seed varieties derive, so there are those who seek to preserve the cultural patterns and ways that nurture the enduring values that are the source of spiritual and moral strength. This is the goal that we in our agrarian community here at Brazos de Dias have dedicated our lives to. We want to preserve, not as a living history museum, but as a way of life, the culture that maintains the ancient heirloom seeds of integrity and honor in business, of care and concern and service, of discipline and diligence and craftsmanship, of closeness and love and relationships, to live lives in which excellence in what we do and how we do it becomes a priority. The best way to ensure the preservation of a living seed is not simply to put it on the shelf in some darkened cellar or museum. Seeds are best preserved by planting and replanting. Their vitality is perpetuated through reproduction. In the same way, the seeds of traditional values cannot be truly preserved when treated as mere laboratory specimens for study. Nor can they be preserved by merely being talked about. They must be planted and replanted and authentically lived out in each successive generation. Here in our community, we want these seeds to grow deep within us. So we try to carefully cultivate the good fruit of character and concern, which can in turn be reproduced as a fresh planting in the next generation. We therefore emphasize traditional patterns for family and community life, and seek to live out those patterns within a predominantly agricultural setting. We have established and dedicated our community to truly be a living curriculum, a place where human relations, hope, and character can be crafted to conform to enduring values, a place where the good seed can be preserved and passed on. So our classroom is really a life. To this end, we have established our educational ministry, the Center for Essential Education. We did so to teach not only our own members and children, but to reach out and share with others the good things we've rediscovered. Church, civic, and senior groups regularly tour our craft village and model homestead. Our ministry reaches to Mexico, Brazil, a number of African nations, Ireland, Belgium, Russia, and other countries. Through these relationships, we've taught patterns of community and family life, craft skills, and methods of agricultural self-sufficiency. Every year we hold Labor Day and Thanksgiving festivals that demonstrate all facets of our various crafts, as well as our educational and agricultural activities. Our Center for Essential Education continually adds new classes and workshops with an ever-widening scope of topics and skills. People from all across the country attend our workshops. Every spring, between 4,000 and 6,000 public and private school children from all over Central Texas enjoy a day at our farm, encountering often for the first time an agrarian life. Along with millions of others, we recognize that major social problems, such as drugs, alcoholism, lack of motivation, rising violence and crime, especially it seems among the young, often stem from the loss of values traditionally nurtured by family, church, and close community life. In our own experience, we've seen that positive values are strengthened in the context of traditional ways of living, working, and interrelating. Such a traditional lifestyle nurtures close personal interrelationships of a kind that enable people to truly care about each other. Significantly, our English word cure derives from the Latin root for the word care. This suggests that a true solution to a problem, that is, its cure, ultimately arises only after care, genuine attention, and effort have come to bear. Patterns and relationships that encourage care can therefore promote healing, both spiritually and socially. The goal of our community is not to throw out any of the genuine benefits of today's world. Nonetheless, we also seek to recover a way of living that can benefit from the new without leaving behind any of those essential values and ways that still give life meaning and purpose. Without the latter, young and old go adrift. So the vision of Heritage Ministries is to restore and preserve proven values and skills, both in the art of craft and in the art of human relationships. We hope to do this first of all by authentically living them out ourselves. We have therefore tried to deindustrialize the essentials of life by growing our own food, educating our young, caring for our elderly, crafting fine handmade items, and so on. Yet our goal is not simply to preserve the best for ourselves, but to share and make these heirloom seeds of life, work, and relationship available to all those who might wish to nurture them in their own lives. Our Heritage Woodworking School offers an example of how all this works. For instance, we have emphasized recovering traditional woodworking crafts and imparting these skills to children, young people, and adults within our own community. We have believed that these skills will not only enable them to work productively, creating useful, functional, beautiful, and long-lasting practical items such as furniture, cabinets, and other wood crafts, but that they will also nurture characteristics of responsibility, diligence, and carefulness, as well as devotion to excellence and service. And all of these carry over into other areas of life. We've watched this actually happening in young people like Frank Straza, Mark Borman, and Philip Lancaster, who were trained as boys in our shops and are now men producing quality furniture in their own shops and raising families on their own homesteads. We've seen this same pattern of fruitfulness in every aspect of the growth and development of our homesteading way of life. We've worked to recapture such homesteading skills as gardening, raising domestic livestock, food preservation, bread making, cheese making, and soap making. Our own quality of life has benefited from these skills, and we have imparted them to our children. We now also offer classes in these skills to the public. All of this makes for a way of life more conducive to harmony and peace. Our farm grows families rather than cash crops. And besides the benefits we reap practically from small-scale, domestically oriented agriculture, we hear a music when we work with horses that's often drowned out by the roar of a tractor. The end of all of this is a life that has drawn tens of thousands each year for over a decade to Brazos Studios, a living curriculum cultural resource.
Easy on the rope. Okay, let's snap it in. Good.